Hello everyone, welcome back to this Microsoft Excel tutorial journey with me on my Knowledge Factory YouTube channel. This is the 53rd session on this journey and we have got print preview open here. Let's start taking a look at some of the settings that you can control when the document is printed. The orientation, the scaling of the content on the pages, where the margins land, where your content shows up on each page, right? Let's take a look at some of those settings right here. So I have identified a couple of changes that I want to make to this document as I go to print it. The first one, and it's really staring me on the face, is that chart, right? The chart should either completely be on page 1 or it should be completely on page 2, one or the other, right? Don't split it, especially not like this. There's just a little bit of sliver of the chart right here. I go to page 2 and it's cut off, at least it's not cut off like right there in page 1, right? So this is a small tweak, but it's going to be exposed even more as we start making some other changes. So if I go back out to the document, just back out to the normal spreadsheet or worksheet view, I can hit that little arrow and I'm just going to select the chart. I'm going to push it on over here, right? Now anytime you go file, prints, and then go back out to the worksheet, you then get these little dashed lines that show up on your worksheet. The dashed lines represent the page break where it's going to print from one page to the next. Take a look at this. If I scroll out here, zoom out, there's a line right there, there's a line right there, right there, right there. These are all page breaks. So this would essentially be a page right up to those lines, and then this would be the page right up to those, and then this would be a page right up to those lines. So that allows me, once I have done into file, print, then back out to the worksheet view, that allows me to see where the actual pages are going to be at. So I could do this, I could move that over, kind of eyeball it and center it between those two lines, right? So that's another way to do this. I was going to the eyeball and that feels like it's pretty centered within that page. Now let's take a look at what this did. Just a small little tweak. We'll go back to the file, print. Oops. Now because I had the chart selected, when I went back to the file, print, it's now only printing the charts. So that's some great information. I did that by accident, but if you had the chart selected and you go to the file, print, then you only print the charts. So let me get back out and I'm going to click into just one cell and again go to the file and print. So now the chart is no longer selected and I have got two pages now. That chart is no longer split on the page 1. If I go back to page 2, there's my little nice chart. Right now let's take this a step further. I want to manipulate the scaling of the page. I want to make the chart larger. I want to make this content larger, right? But in the portrait mode, right? In portrait mode where you got the taller pages, which is what we are looking at here, it's not going to give me a lot of room left and right to be able to make that larger. So before I manipulate the scaling, I'm going to change the page orientation. So back into my print settings on the left and I'll go down to the orientation. Currently set to portrait. I'm going to toggle that to landscape. Alright, there we go. So now I have got much more space over here on the right hand side of the page. You can see the chart is starting to get back in there again. I need to fix that. So let's try this out. Got my orientation here. If I go back to the normal worksheet view, you can see that our pages have changed the shape because the orientation has changed. There's my page there, there's my page there. If you see those little gray dotted lines, then you see the chart kind of split the difference in there, right? So let's grab that chart and let's shuffle it over here and then going to click into an empty cell. So I'll just put it here and click on the empty cell. So go back to the file and print now again, and now the charts are no longer on the page 1 and go to the page 2 and there's that nice chart. But let's try adjusting the scaling now. I'm going to go into my print settings. I'm going to go down to no scaling currently, meaning it's just that 100%. Whatever you got, that's what you got. I say no scaling. I'm going to go down to a custom scaling option. Inside this window, this is the page setup window. We have got scaling, and we really got two ways to scale a page. You can do it by a percentage, adjust to, or you can do it by a fit to, meaning I can say I want you to fit all the content. Maybe it spans 10 pages. Let's put it all on one page and I can use that there. The scaling you can adjust smaller or larger. The fit to, it only shrink. It will not increase the amount of pages, it will only shrink. So I'm going to use the adjust to option, the first one, because I want to make it a little bit bigger and I want to use some of the empty white space there. So I'm going to say that right now it's 100%, and I'm just going to pull a number out of my head and say just like 125%. So an extra 25% here, and hit my OK button. And that's looking pretty good. I'm starting to fill up more of that page, starting to make this a little bit larger. Now this is all preference. Let's get back in the custom scaling. You have got to determine what looks best for yours. What are the numbers going to be if you're going to scale, even if you're going to scale it, right? If you don't, then forget it. Then let's say I want to increase it again to 135%. Let's add another 10% there. And I think that's okay, and I'll just hit OK, and that's looking pretty good, at least as far as the spreadsheet is concerned. This one here, not so good. It's starting to look like that chart again, right? Now I have got 5 pages. All right, there's the rest of my smart art. Oh, there's my half of my chart, but there's nothing in this page. That's weird. And then I got my page 5, the second half of the chart. That's odd, right? What's going on? So these little things that started to expose some of other settings that we can get into here, right? We have changed the orientation, started to scale that up just to make it more presentable and utilize more of that page, or even less of that page if you need to scale it down for your data, whatever that might be. But as you start messing with those scaling options, it's starting to expose some other inadequacies in our setup, in our layout of our data. So let's make another tweak here. I'm going to go back into my print. Actually, let's go back to the document and just see what it looks like. You can see you got that split there. So what I'll do, I'll just select this chart and try to grab it here in middle. I'll try to put like this, so that's inside the page 1. And then I'm going to grab it and pull it over here. I will just try to rescale it so that it comes inside page 2. I'll just try to expand this as well a bit. So, and I'm using those dashed lines again, kind of eyeball it and see. Let's go back and see the print preview. Alright, 3 pages now. That sounded pretty good, right? So this is my data, page 2, and this is my nice smart art, and that's my nice smart chart. That's looking pretty sleek. Just use those guidelines as you're moving the data around. Make sure you do file print. So you get your little print lines out there. We are going to take a look at another view where you can get kind of a similar setup here, but just really simple file and print. You can mess with your settings in there, scaling orientation, the margin, something we'll take a look at. And then once you get back out, you get these nice little gray lines to help you identify where the pages are located at. So try this out. I want to keep the video short, so try this out right here. See how your data looks, make any necessary tweaks that you need, and then we'll jump in and take a look at some more settings. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and as I always say, if you really liked it and enjoying this journey, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and also press the bell icon to get the latest content update on this channel. Alright, then we'll meet up in the next session. In case you have any questions, any concerns, then do let me know in the comment section of this video. Till the time, goodbye and take care.